What's up everyone? Welcome back to Golf Simulator videos. We're back today with an all new Trackman software update. So TPS 10.1 is now available to the public, and I really want to show you these features. It's bringing a lot to the table. So there's so much that I don't know if I'm going to be able to get to the last one that packs a ton of punch, because I feel like it justifies its own video, but let's run through the list and then let's show you all this in action. So map my bag. This is something that everyone should be doing. Know your distances, know your dispersion. I'm going to show it in action, and that way you can see how it works, and then we can talk a little bit about why I think it's important. So next up, impact video. They're bringing this to on-course play. Probably one of the most talked about things. I got emails on and stuff when I was doing the first Virtual Golf 3 videos. Everyone's like, man, if you could see that impact video when you're playing golf out on the course, I think that'd be cool. Well, now you can. So seamless experience that they're bringing. Basically, it allows you to jump holes and change players. I think this is cool. You know, when you're playing casual golf and you're out on a course and you just want to kind of skip ahead, maybe finish a round or play the back nine, it just allows you to skip it forward and doesn't affect your handicap. So pretty cool that they allow that now. I'll show that in action. We'll also show you a brand new Virtual Golf 3 course that I saw, which was really cool. So might as well piggyback those too. Now, handicap groups are available in Performance Center now. I do really like this feature because it was always benchmarking you against like a Tour Pro, and if you're a 20 handicap, you should be benchmarking yourself against maybe like a 15 that you want to get to, seeing where you rank in accordance to where you are today. All right, so you know, I really feel like that's a powerful feature, and will allow people to kind of give themselves, you know, something to push for. So very cool. I can show that in action really quick. But then AI motion analysis version 2. This is the one that I just feel like justifies its own video. I'm using the new Trackman cameras, the lower price point cameras that you know, are really exciting. I've so many users I know already that have bought them. Just said I love that there's now this more affordable, you know, version of camera, USB. You don't need, you know, crazy Ethernet cards or anything like that, and it's fully, you know, motion analysis capable, and it's really, really impressive. There's just so much to it. So let's go ahead and get started. We'll see how far we get. Maybe I can give you a sneak preview of that, or we'll do a whole video on its own. But let's start just kind of in order. Map my bag. This is something everyone should be doing. Know your distances, know what changes throughout the year, especially dispersion too. You know, are you pushing or pulling, whatever it may be. Now it says my bag's ready. The reason is because I scanned the QR code. I set up my bag using the Trackman Golf app. Very powerful app. I encourage everyone to create an account, even if you don't have a Trackman device. You might be going to a range, anything like that. It's very powerful. It's free to create an account, so check it out. All right, but now after I've done that, I can just go to start practice. And this is kind of nice. It gives you like a warm-up mode. So if you want to hit some shots and get warmed up, now I already hit a few 58 to kind of get going and give us a preview of how this would actually work. So I hit 6 shots really quick with my 58, and you'll see I pushed a few. I pulled one, but I'm leaving those because that's showing me what's going on right now in my bag. This is my average distance. I like swinging about 90% with my wedges. I don't like a full-blown swing, and you can see my average carry distance is about 93. If I want to see my total, it's about 98. All right, so that is going to give me a very good idea of where my 58 sits today. Now I'm going to go to my 54. That way I can properly understand, you know, what shots I should be switching to a 54 on. And I actually just want to make sure I got a 54 in my hand. Want to understand where that cutoff is and what this club is doing, you know, past that distance. So generally this club would be anything that's 100 yards plus for me, all the way up to maybe 108-ish or so. So let's go ahead and try to make some consistent 90% or so swings and see where those end up. So first one, 105. It's exactly what I would expect out of this club. And as you can see from the impact video, it's exactly what I would expect out of my, you know, body that doesn't rotate like I want it to, and it comes away from the inside. So it's a lot of face control with my wedge, just because I'm coming from the inside. If I don't close the face, it ends up being a push. If I close it, it ends up being a draw. I'd much rather, you know, have a more square path, but that's just where I'm at today. Now at any time, if I shank it, I chunk it, I do whatever, you'll see I really crisp that shot. And this is good to know. It's good to know that this is like a 110 max club for me. You know, I didn't have to swing out of my shoes, and yet that thing, you know, carried 110. But at any time I wanted to delete a shot, I'll show you right now. take down my camera. It's cool. This is your 1 through 6. You don't have to stop at 6. It just recommends minimum of 6 to understand your gapping. But you can delete those. All right, so that's always going there over to the side, and it's really nice. That way you can, gosh, look how far inside that is. This is just where I'm at today, and I'm trying to work with it. So let's hit one more. It's always this little draw. As long as I can control it, I'm not really complaining. 108, like I said, I mean, it's really a 100 to 110 club. Based on my swing right now, it sure looks like it's more 105 to 110. Let's see if I can let off a one just a little bit. 101, but I tugged it. I kind of caught, toe-y on it and tugged it a little bit. But I'm gonna go ahead and leave that because I know that that's kind of the low part of where this club sits. If I wanted to, I could just go over and just delete that and start over. But I got 5 and 6 to go, and I already hit kind of my long ones, so I'll try to hit maybe 2 more of those. 102. And it looks like I'm not pushing this one as much. A couple of those, I obviously got right down the line, but I'm starting to see that circle. I think you really only need 6 and just delete the ones you don't want, but if you wanted to do more, you can. So that one I'm gonna delete because that was like a thin, just not a good example of how I would normally hit this club. And so I'll show you guys how this works. So it does show my average carry in total because that was number 6, but I'm gonna keep hitting. And then I'm actually gonna delete number 6 and start over. I just, that was not the normal swing versus the others. So let's hit one more. It's just so easy to delete it. I really recommend doing that. Man, that one wasn't that good either. I just kind of, I'm just tugging these. So let's hit one more. It should pop up that totally. No, it doesn't. It only pops it up once. So if you delete number 6, you'll actually see it at the end. So I'll show you how that looks. So actually it gives you a little preview of how that works if you delete number 6. There we go, that was much more normal. And of course, what does it do? It pushes just a little bit. But that gives me a much better idea of trying to hit some full blown, and then you can see when I'm letting off a little bit, it's around 100 yards or so carry. So now all I have to do is I can just hit change club, and I'll take this down so you guys can see what I'm doing, but you'll see club sufficiently mapped right there. And I'm gonna hit change club, and now I've got my gaps. So 93 carry, 98 total, 104 carry to 109 total, and those are averages of each carry and total. And you can see they overlap just a little bit. All right, and you see I'm pushing probably more than I'm pulling, and I've got some in the center, so I obviously am capable of that, and that's where I really need to get going, but I like where these clubs are gapped. I feel like they're the proper gap. Anything inside of that 90-yard barrier, that's more of a feel shot for me, taking off on my 58, but yeah, on average it says there's about an 11-yard gap in between them, and I like that, versus letting off and making full swings. I actually have not hit this info button yet. So this is cool. Tells you why to map your clubs, talks about getting started, updating your bag in the Trackman Golf app. So lots of little tips along the way. I really like how they do that. So let's go ahead and quit out of here. Yes. And then let's go to practice. Let's go to performance center. Let's go to continue. Let's go to start practice. And then what I'm going to do, I'll put my camera back up here in a second. I'm gonna hit done, loading performance center, because I don't need a warm up. I do like how it gives you the warm up before you start something like this. But what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna pull that back up. So I'm gonna pull up that 110 to 100 shot, because I have a 54 in my hand. All right, so 100 to 110 shot. We'll let it, let's see, random or custom. I'd actually, if I were to do this, I'm actually gonna go custom, and I'm just gonna go center the pin. I just think that that's like, if I'm just gonna start off and like benchmark, then that's easy. And so right now, you'll see that I'm at handicap 0, all right? And if I want to, I'm sorry, reset aim. If I want to, I go up to strokes gained. It's gonna talk about basically how it's benchmarking me, you know, and what it does. And then I can see, I'm trying to, there it is. I'm sorry, I kept clicking, you know, right beside it rather than full summary. I'm actually looking up at my TV versus down. So handicap, let's say that I want to benchmark it against a 6. I'm kind of just below a 6. So really, honestly, let's stay at 0. I think that's where to go. So you just click that little flag right there. I was clicking above, looking on my TV. So you click the flag, it brings that up. If you want to go against Tour Pro or anybody else, it's simple as that. And what does it say down here? Changing comparison. Selecting a comparison option will update the scores for all shots in this session. So we'll update them all, even if you had something else selected. All right, perfect. So we're good to go. So this is a 109-yard shot. So this would be like the full 54. Kind of hit that a little fat and it kind of left the face open versus getting it closed. It expects me to get inside of that distance. So, you know, it's saying I lost 0.24 on that shot because I wasn't inside of the target, which I don't disagree. So 102, I don't have to swing quite as hard on this. It's like those last couple I was hitting. It was a little on the thin side, but it could reach my target. Yes, it does. So what am I gonna, oh, is it gonna count or is it gonna spin off of there? Okay, all right, 0.01. Not bad, not bad. And then, oh, this is a full one. And so basically you're just gonna go through this and you're just gonna see how your strokes gained compare as you're playing each club against whatever handicap you wanna benchmark yourself against. Tried to make a full swing and didn't quite release it and didn't quite get all of it. Oh, that was close. That was close. I mean, it just shows the wedge work that I need. I mean, I come so far inside with my wedges right now, but I'm working on it and I don't want to reinvent my swing right now. And I like that I'm not losing many strokes with my wedges. It's going to be all about putting if I'm playing like that. So it's perfect. All right, so a good example of how you can just hit this flag, change whatever you want it to compare to. Now let's say that I wanted to compare it to an 8 handicap. I'm actually gaining strokes against an 8 handicap. How about a 6? Almost even. So I'm playing at like a 4 or 5 right now. So really it's talk about accuracy. I mean, I'm not gaining and not losing against my handicap really. All right, now against the Tour Pro, I got some work to do. All right, and it allows you to select male or female Tour Pro, which I thought was pretty cool as well. All right, so let's go ahead and exit out of here. We'll go to quit. Next up on the list, I want to go to courses and check out Barnbougle Dunes in Australia. All right, so I'm going to jump out here. Tees, I'll just leave. I think those are the tips. I've got myself set up at the tips. I play a plus 2.6 here on Trackman, so I got some, you know, improvement to do if I want to stay at 2.6 based on how I've been playing. But basically, here's hole number 1. I mean, you just check out this course. I mean, how cool is this? I mean, it's just wild with the hills and everything. I don't feel like I've been on a VG3 course yet with this type of elevation and foliage and everything like that. I mean, it's just really cool. So at any point in time, when you're out here, if you want to change, go up in the upper right to where you see your name, click that, and then you'll see right here it says skip to hole, which is new. So I'm going to skip to number 5, which is a pretty cool par 3, and it says you're about to skip 1 or more holes. Rounds with skipped holes will not count towards a handicap. Are you sure you want to skip? Yes, I am. And then here we are. There you can see the ocean. I figured this would just be perfect. I was checking out this course ahead of time, and I was like, this is going to be awesome to show everybody. I mean, you just got the ocean to the left. You've got, you know, there's all this elevation and, you know, the fence and the trees and the different types of trees and everything. So I need to grab a 5-iron. Perfect. And I hit this shot already, and I know it. And I guess the pin was different. So 5-iron might not be enough for this, honestly. Let's just hit it anyway. I mean, obviously I'm playing a stiff body draw right now, so I'll see if I can, you know, play a push draw almost and see if that works. But how cool is this? Oh, I tugged it, just tried to swing out of my shoes. Oh my gosh. So what I can do is play a mulligan after my huge over, look at that. But hey, notice the club replay? I can see what happened there. All right, tried to play a push draw and wow, was that tugged. All right, we can fix that though. How about that? Oh, just get a little roll. Go down the hill. Oh, it's gonna be so close. And you'll notice I'm still coming way from the inside. I mean, I'm not warmed up, and let me tell you, my body has not been rotating lately, and I'm just so stuck from the inside. But let me look at that birdie putt that I left myself. And I can show you guys a quick little putt to see if I can make it. Don't even have my club head cover off, but let's see. Let's see. I'm gonna set this up. So 9.5 feet. I did it. Hey, that's a strong finish. That is a strong finish. You can even see the impact of my lab putter up there. I mean, that's really cool to have not just your swing impacts, but also your putter impacts while you're out on the course playing. I mean, that's really, really cool stuff in my opinion. So I encourage anyone with a Trackman system to go out and play this course. It's beautiful, it's challenging. I mean, it's just different. It's so different. But this is TPS 10.1 minus swing analysis version 2. I mean, this video is like 20 minutes long. I really try to keep these like 10 to 15 minutes. I can just see people's attention on my videos, so it's probably dropping off right now because they know it's coming to an end. But you know, stay tuned. I'm gonna do a full deep dive on, you know, the swing motion analysis version 2. So stay tuned. There'll be a lot more coming soon.